Welcome to Wild Edibles video number 9, Black Walnuts Part 5, Storing, Cracking, and Counting Calories. Okay, for storing these black walnuts is pretty straightforward. You can just find any container that you can get at the store, at Walmart or wherever, and store as many of the processed dried walnuts that you can. In this container here, it's about, I think, 1,200 walnuts in there. And then in this case over here is just one of my neighbors gave me this produce box. It has some holes in the side for ventilation, and I store about 400 there. I believe this season I got about 30 5-gallon buckets worth of these things. So pretty much just when they're all dried out, just store them inside somewhere where it's not too humid, and you should be good to go. Over here are the walnuts I processed with the dry method. They're not quite ready yet, so they have to dry out some more, but as you can tell, they are getting there. It's almost like they're dehydrating in place. And if these were totally dry, I could just go ahead and crack them open, which we'll do next. And for cracking the dried walnuts, the method that I use is to get an old towel, or in this instance an old cat food bag, or you can use a feed bag, a chicken feed bag, horse feed bag, anything that's strong. And basically what I did was I attach a small stick to it, and what I'll do is I'll fold that over the nuts and push them back and get them real snug, and then I'll hit them with that hammer over there. I'll try to get a demonstration and see if I can get this in the video. You line your nuts up in a row, and you fold the paper with the wood over, get them snug as you can. Now they're all snug and they shouldn't go too far when you crack them. Just get your hammer and go down the line and crack them the best you can. One might fall out, but that's fine. For the most part, they stay in here. And you've got a really good start on cracking these nuts. So that's how I crack these things. So here is a sampling of what you can get without doing any further picking. I just went down the line and picked up whatever nuts fell out of the cracking process. I think that when you have something like this, you pull it over snug and those nuts have nowhere to blast off to, and you crack it, all that force stays inside, and I think they crack better. But in the instance where there's still nuts to get, the smaller pieces, I'll go through with like a little small screwdriver or a nut pick or whatever you have. You can get those smaller pieces out, and some of them that might not have cracked that well, I'll just do the process again. But in any event, you can tell from just 30 seconds of work, you can get a lot of nuts out of those things. And as far as calorie count goes, if you look at the store for black walnut bag, it says that there is 180 calories per ounce of black walnuts. And the calculations that I did is it takes about 5 walnuts to get an ounce, give or take. It might vary depending on the size of the nuts, but that's basically my average that I found is 5 of these. So for example, each one of my 5-gallon buckets, I collected about 100 walnuts. So if you divide 100 by 5, that's 20 ounces of walnuts. Times 180, that's 3,600 calories per 5-gallon bucket of these things. So I have 30 buckets. That's what I think, like 1,000,000 calories, which is about 54 days worth of calories at 2,000 calories a day. So as far as the calories go, it's a very good thing to get into foraging. These have a lot of calories and very little work to get these things. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and talk to you next time. Thanks. P.S. I forgot to mention that after you're done and you've processed your nuts, you want to collect them. It's a little digital scale I have there. Double and triple check that you have no shells in there. It's not a good experience biting down on one of those things. But in any event, how I prepare these things is I'll just give them a quick wash, look over to see if there's any shells. Then I'll put them in a pan with some extra virgin olive oil and seasoned salt and bake them for like 20 minutes at 300 degrees, and they are fantastic.